Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to be going through why an AI marketing agency is the best business model for you to actually start in 2026. So let's get into it. First things first, I want to show you guys my cash collected for my own agency for the month of January 2026. Okay, so this is about $75,000 in cash collected for my agency in the first month of 2026. Okay, these are a few screenshots that are real screenshots of clients paying me for the agency work. So there's 14K, 10K, 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 9K, 9K, and the list goes on. Okay, I've got USD payments here from clients overseas as well. So this is 7.5K USD, comes out to about 11, close to $12,000 AED. Okay, so showing you this first, just to show you that it is real, and this is something that you guys can achieve as well. Okay, now let's get into the actual parts of the video. So number one is the path that you choose is the path that you deserve. So sit with that for a little bit. I want you to think about this one. The path you choose is the path you deserve. Okay. Most people were taught that there are only a few ways to make money. You either work a job, start a traditional business, or you take a gamble on something speculative. The problem is that in 2026, especially in Australia, none of those paths make much sense for the average person. Jobs are capped, you trade your time for money, your income has a ceiling, and the cost of living keeps rising faster than your wage. Now, traditional businesses, they require huge upfront capital, staff, leases, inventory, and long break-even timelines. Online trends like crypto or drop shipping rely heavily on timing and luck, not skills or control. And the key shift that I want you guys to understand after watching this video is that money flows towards businesses that can help other businesses make more money. Now, the only way to actually get free without risking your life savings is to stop selling your time, stop selling cheap products, and start selling growth. Okay. Now, the AI marketing agency is the only vehicle left where you can take businesses that already have money, help them make more money, and keep a massive piece of the profit without owning any inventory or taking on any financial risk for yourself. Okay. This is the biggest opportunity that has ever been to succeed in business. Now, next thing I want to go through is the actual math behind a 9 to 5, which you may be working in right now. Okay. So the dream 9 to 5, 6-figure salary. So let's say, for example, you make $100,000 a year. That's your income, right? Now, after 30K in taxes, after 30K in rent or mortgage, because you have to live, right? 20K in life. So that's food, cars, like regular expenses that you have day to day comes up to 20K at the end of the year. At the very end of the year, you're going to have $20,000 left in your pocket for an entire year of work. An entire year, and you make $20,000 at the end of the year. Okay, that is insane to me, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that is insane to you as well. Okay, so if you have a look at this graph right here, this is value and cost on one side and then time on the other side. Now, what you guys need to understand is that inflation is growing and increasing at a rate of 3.5% annually. That means every single year, inflation is growing by 3.5%. Okay, so the cost of living is increasing by 3.5%. And for you guys watching this video, chances are your salary or your wage is not growing 3.5% every single year. And so what this means is that inside this little gap here is actually the poverty trap. If you're not increasing your wage or your salary by 3.5% and more every single year, the money you're making is actually valued less and decreasing every single year that inflation rises, which it will rise, right? There's no reason for inflation to not increase. And so, if every year you're not getting a raise, you're not getting more pay, you're not making more money every single year, in a job that you're just stuck in, inflation is going to be, your money is going to be worth less. Okay. And so what are you even working for? This is the 9 to 5 trap. Okay. Next thing I want to go through is the business model dilemma itself. So you've probably seen a bunch of different business models, right? And I want to show you guys what these are and what they mean for you specifically going into 2026 as well. So we have the business model matrix here in 2026. Now, on the left side here, we have control and sustainability. At the bottom is luck and gambling. At the top is skill or asset, right? So you have less control, in the luck and gambling side of things. You have more control with a skill or an asset, okay? On the bottom here, we have leverage and income potential. So at the start, we have capped income. Yeah, and at the end, we actually have uncapped income. And so obviously, whatever's down here in the bottom left is going to be the worst possible option we can go for. The top right is going to be the best option that has, that requires skill and an asset, but also gives you the most uncapped income. So if we're going to look at the left here, this little gray square here. So this is capped income, but it means you have a skill and you have an asset to provide to the market that makes you money, okay? But again, obviously, your income is capped by this opportunity. And so let me show you guys what this opportunity is in the first place. So the opportunity is the trap itself, the 9 to 5. It's safe, but it's stagnant, and inflation beats you every single year that you don't get a raise, okay? So obviously, in a 9 to 5, you guys already know that your income is capped. I don't have to tell you that, but you do have a certain skill that you utilize and you provide as a service, as an employee to a certain company that you're working for. Now, on the other side, let's have a look at uncapped income. Okay. So uncapped income, but luck in gambling. I want to show you guys what this is. So on this side, we have ecom and trading or crypto. Okay. So on the ecom side, you're doing things like you're fighting Amazon, you're fighting Temu for low margins, right? These businesses are billion-dollar businesses that can sell products for cheaper than you and at more volume than you. And you're trying to compete against billion-dollar companies online, trying to sell some sort of dropshipping or ecom products. Yeah. And then we've got trading or crypto. Now, this is pretty much just pure luck, gambling, and there's zero enterprise value. This is not a real business. Okay. This is just throwing money in and hoping that you get more money out of it. Okay. Now, if I just go through some stats here for both ecom and trading, on the ecom side of things, the standard margins for an ecom business are 10 to 15% net profit margins. So let's say, for example, if in the chance that you make $1 million a year with ecom, 10% of that is $100,000 a year. So you're making $1 million a year and keeping only 10% of the actual profit, which is $100,000. And on that $100,000, you're getting taxed again. Okay, I want you guys to understand how insane that is. Even though you can make $1 million in revenue, if your profit is only 10% and you're still getting taxed on that profit, what's the point of even running an ecom business in the first place? You're working 24/7 and you're not even getting the upside of it. Okay, people are going to try to sell you the laptop lifestyle, but at the end of the day, chances that you're actually going to make a lot of money is going to be very, very minimal, and you're only keeping a little bit of the actual profit because it's going to manufacturers, suppliers, shipping companies, the actual products themselves. Because you have to buy the inventory, because you actually have to invest your own money to get the inventory, to ship it, to do whatever else you need, you have to pay. That means your margins get cut and cut and cut so that you're left with 10 to 15% of the actual margins by the end of the year. Okay. So that is on the ecom side of things. Now, the trading side of things, this is even worse. So the 99% failure stat here is that 1.1 to 4% of day traders actually consistently earn anything more than minimum wage over a 5-year period. Okay. And these, by the way, these are all real and true data and statistic points. Okay, so you can look up these articles yourself and you can actually have a look at the data. Okay, so in terms of trading as well, to generate a sustainable $3,000 a month income, at a realistic 15% annual return, you as a trader need to have a capital balance of around $240,000, which I'm going to assume that you don't have. Okay, which is why you're watching this video. If you had that kind of money, you wouldn't just throw it into trading. You wouldn't just throw it into crypto with no thought behind it, because that's just gambling. Okay. Now that's that. Okay, these are some of the stats behind why you wouldn't do ecom or why you wouldn't do trading or crypto as well. Just because the actual opportunities themselves statistically don't make sense. Okay. And now, what is the actual best business model with the most control and sustainability, as well as the most leverage and income potential as well? That is going to be the growth partner or the AI marketing agency. Now, this business model has high margins, zero inventory, and you own the asset itself. You are owning an entire service-based business with high margins, anywhere from 60 to 80% margins inside the business itself, and you're not holding any sort of inventory because the service you provide is completely online. It's completely digital. You are not having any sort of physical products. You don't have a physical location. All of your services and everything you do is going to be online. You can work from your laptop in any country that you want to, and you're still going to make a lot of money and keep the margins that you make. Okay, so that is the business model dilemma, and I wanted to show you guys this so that you actually understand the differences between the opportunities out there, because the vehicle that you choose is going to be the thing that dictates the success that you actually get. So this is the best option going into 2026. Obviously, the AI agency is going to be the bet for you. Okay. Now, next thing I want to go through is what actually is an AI marketing agency, because you might not actually know. So an agency is a service-based business that helps other businesses get more customers, okay, using marketing methods and systems. So pretty simple. Now, you're not inventing anything new. Okay, you're not selling products. You're not holding inventory. You're actually solving a problem that already exists in the market every single day. So most businesses struggle with getting leads, which is people who are interested in buying, turning leads into appointments and consultations, and then turning the appointments into paying customers. Okay. An agency steps in and helps them solve that. You are acting as a growth partner for businesses that already make money, but they want more. Okay. And this is important to understand because businesses already pay for this. They already allocate budgets for marketing, advertising, and growth, and agencies simply help them spend that money more effectively. Okay. And so if you were just to visualize this very, very simply, you've got a business on one side, customers on the other side, and the problem in the middle is the problem that you are going to solve for them. Okay. And so what's going to happen here is you are going to become the bridge between the business and the customers that they want by solving the problem. Your bridge is the solution to the problem itself. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully that helps you guys understand what an agency actually is. Okay. Now, in terms of this next part here, what I want you guys to understand is the concept of leverage. If you guys actually want to make more money, if you guys want to change your life and achieve the things that you want to, you cannot do it without leverage. Okay. And so if you guys have ever seen this photo here, this is from Archimedes. And essentially what he said was that give me a lever long enough and I can move the world. So essentially, if you really just break that down, he's saying that if you give me something of leverage, if there's a leverage vehicle out there, I can achieve anything I want. I can move the entire world if I wanted to. Okay. And so this is just a small illustration, because imagine he was here. There's no chance that he could move the world. We give him a lever long enough and he's definitely moving the world. Like if this lever was infinitely long and you could just put a little bit of weight on it and then the world would move, you don't have to do much and you can make the most output for the input that you put. Okay. And so the old way itself is going to be the 9 to 5, which you're currently in. This is going to be, you selling your time for money, and you're limited by your time, which is only 24 hours a day. Okay. And so if you're going to be doing this, you're not going to get a great output that you're actually looking for. Now, the new way, which is the AI marketing agency, you sell the outcome for money. Okay. You're not selling your time for money, but you're selling outcomes and systems for money. And the limit to this is infinite, because you can sell this to as many people as you want instead of selling it to one employer. You sell your time to one employer with the old way, with the 9 to 5. Now you're actually selling to unlimited amounts of customers out there in the market. Now, if you have a look at your inputs specifically, if your input on the old way is time, your output is going to be a capped salary. Yeah. Whereas if your input is your systems, your skills, and your knowledge on the AI marketing side of things, your output is going to be uncapped earnings. Okay. And literally remember what I said at the start of this video. Whichever path that you decide to choose is the path you deserve. If you decide to choose the 9 to 5, the salary, go for it, right? And this is going to be the path that you have. You sell your time for money and you're limited by the hours in your day itself. But if you choose to go towards selling your skills, your systems, and your knowledge to other businesses that are already paying for it, your output is going to be uncapped earnings, and you deserve that because you chose it. Okay. Now that is leverage. And I really, really need you guys to understand this, because without leverage, you are not going to make the money you want to make. And leverage just means choosing a vehicle that allows you to put in 1 and get 5 out as the output. Okay. Now, number 3, why AI marketing agencies are actually thriving in 2026 itself. The reason agencies are exploding right now is not hype. Okay. It's because there is a desperate need in the market for the following. Every single business today depends on attention, marketing, and customer acquisition. Every single business needs more of these things. But most business owners don't understand digital marketing. They don't have time to learn it, and they don't want to manage it in the first place. They'd rather do the thing they're actually best at. And so in Australia specifically, if you're watching this gap is even larger, okay? Because there are thousands of trades, clinics, local services, and professional businesses that rely on outdated systems from the early 2000s, maybe even the 90s and before that, or just referrals, okay? Just word of mouth. And so what they need is help. They genuinely need help, and they are willing to pay for help, which is the most important thing. People with a business don't want to do things that aren't in their expertise. They would rather pay somebody else to do that for them, okay? And so at the same time, technology has made running an agency easier than ever. You've got automation, you've got AI, you have software, and you have remote delivery. You don't have to be there in person to give them the service itself. This means that you can run a high income business without an office, without employees on payroll, and without a large upfront investment, because you are selling outcomes and not hours, all right? Now, why is it actually the best time right now at the start of 2026 and going beyond to start an AI marketing agency? And so I want to break down some stats for you, okay? Just in Australia alone, there is a massive, massive market size, okay? There are 2.7 million businesses registered in Australia, actively trading businesses, okay? Which means there are 2.7 million opportunities for you to reach out to these businesses and actually make money for them, okay? So the market is not small at all. It's just simply crowded with noise and what you might call oversaturation, okay? Now, the AI adoption is actually surface level for 95% of businesses out there, because they have actually not integrated AI into their core operations. Maybe they use it for writing emails, but 53% of business owners explicitly state that their revenue would be unaffected if AI tools disappeared tomorrow. Now, what this means is that you have an incredible opportunity to jump in and implement AI into these businesses and make a lot of money. Now, again, all of this is real stats and real data. You can have a look at any of these articles right here and actually get these stats for yourself, okay? Now, number 3 is that the marketing strategy is non-existent. 47% of Australian businesses operate without a documented marketing strategy. They are guessing and not executing at all, okay? Number 4 is that paid traffic is inefficient. 65% of small to medium enterprises are paying for traffic, but the majority lack the technical infrastructure to track things like ROI, which is your return on investment, resulting in blind spend. Okay, because if you're not tracking your numbers, you're just guessing and you're not actually making yourself or your clients any more money. Now, these are only some of the reasons that you might actually want to get into the AI marketing agency right now. Okay. But based on the actual recent data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and remember, this is only in Australia, not even talking about overseas yet, right? So for the 24 to 25 financial year, the rate of new businesses entering the market is approximately 16.4%. Okay. I want you guys to understand how big that is. That means 437,150 new businesses are starting every single year. And if you look at this number and you think that every single one of these business owners is a complete genius with AI or even marketing, you're completely wrong. Okay. And so even if there are 13.9% of businesses that close every single year, you have to think about it. This means that because they aren't proficient with marketing, they're not proficient with AI, and they can't keep up with the times, that means they have to close down the business, and it's a failed business, right? Now, the net growth of actual businesses entering the market in the 24 to 25 financial year is 2.5%. And if we break that down to really, really simple numbers, 66,650 businesses entered the market in 2025, actually looking to grow and make more money, which means that you have an opportunity to reach out to these 66,650 businesses and make money from them by helping them implement AI and do marketing for them. Okay. So this is the best time to start a marketing agency because you see how many new businesses are actually entering the market. And I can guarantee you they need help with AI. They need help with marketing, and you have to make sure that you position yourself right in front of them so that you can actually capture this opportunity and change your life the way you want it to. Okay. Now, number 4 is why the agency model is low risk and high reward, because there's no point starting a business if it's going to have high risk and low reward. So you have to make sure that you're actually logical about what you're doing. Okay. So compared to most business models, agencies are extremely low risk. You don't need to build something before you sell it. You don't need to guess what the market wants, and you don't need massive capital to start. Okay. You don't have to build something before you sell it. You just go out to the market and you start selling. You don't need to guess because the market already wants AI. You know this. You know the market wants AI, and you know that most people need marketing as well because they don't know how to market themselves. And you don't need massive capital to start. You can start this for completely free. All right. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to sell a result that businesses already want, like we've discussed. You get paid upfront or monthly, and you deliver using systems and tools. Okay. Now, this is why agencies are often the fastest path to cash flow, because one client can be worth thousands of dollars per month. It could be 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, just like the screenshots I showed you at the start of this video. Okay. You don't need hundreds of customers. You don't need viral success. All you need is clarity and execution. Okay. Let me repeat that. You don't need hundreds of customers to make a lot of money. You do not need viral success. Okay. And all you need is clarity and execution. You need to know what to do, and you just need to do it. Now, if you're at this point in the video and you're like, okay, I want to do this, I want to get started with an AI marketing agency, I want to change my life, right? But you just don't know what to do or where to go or how to actually do it, I have an application link down below in the description where you can go apply to work with myself and my team to actually help you get started with running an AI marketing agency. Okay. So with that being said, let's continue. So now at this point, you may be thinking, I want to do this, but how do I actually know if this is going to work? So I want to show you guys a few of the guys who've been through my mentorship program and actually applied the exact systems and strategies that I've actually used for myself running an AI marketing agency. And these guys have actually gotten success through actually implementing everything that they've been taught. Okay. So just to quickly breeze through, we've got Sebastian here who went from 25K a month to 62K a month in about 5 weeks with his AI infrastructure agency. Christos went from 0 to 20K a month in pounds, by the way, Great British Pounds, in 6 weeks with his consulting agency. Chester from Sydney, just like myself, signed his first 7.8K client in 12 days for his SaaS agency. He's also making over $10,000 a month now. We've got Max here, who went from $10,000 to $20,000 a month in 1 month with his content agency. We've got Alex, who signed his first 6K client in 6 weeks for his dental agency, still working a full-time 9 to 5 and still making more than his monthly salary in 1 client. We've got Albert, who closed his first 10K in 3 weeks for his dental agency. We've got Desmond, who closed his first $3,500 in 3 weeks for his roofing agency. Okay, and then we've got Eugene here, who's actually from the Philippines, so a third world country, who closed his first 2K USD in 3 days after actually joining the mentorship program. Okay, so I want to show you guys, if this is going to work for you, and do you actually think this can work for you? Well, if you look at these guys, none of them are special. They're all in different situations. They started in different places. Okay, all of these guys just took the systems, took the strategies, and actually implemented on them to make the money that they make now. Now, who's this business model for? Maybe you've come to the end of the video now and you realize that, okay, maybe this is good for me, maybe this is not. And how do I know if I actually want to do it? This model is ideal for people who never want to work a 9 to 5 again. They want complete control over their income. They don't want to be working for somebody else, be an employee for the rest of their life. Okay. They're willing to learn a high leverage skill, AI, paid advertising, marketing, selling, okay? And they prefer logic over hype and want something scalable and uncapped. Now, these are the things that you don't need to actually be successful. You don't need experience. You don't need a background in marketing. You don't need a large audience, and you don't need technical knowledge with AI and automations. All these things are completely learnable. You don't need any experience in any of this. What matters is that you understand the model and you're committed to execution. Now, if this video made the agency model feel simple, logical, and achievable, that is intentional. It's supposed to feel that way because it is just that easy, okay? Now, if you guys want to actually get started with this, again, if you've gone through this video, you're like, okay, this is for me. I see that it's worked. I know that this is actually valuable to the market and I can change my life by offering my services that the market already wants to the market itself, and you want to get started, I have a link in the description below. Feel free to actually click on it, apply to work with myself and my team, and let's get started. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.